What's going on, guys? So we're back again with another gameplay video. This time we have Perth Pro Players team captain Jimmy James on the left playing Jiren, and we have Perth Pro Players team member Jason Stubbs here on the right playing U7 Goku. Just before they get started, huge shout out to our sponsor Team Card Titan. If you guys want any DBS Seal products or DBS singles, make sure you check out that link in the description below. Now U7, great deck. I love it. I think it's really versatile. Does a lot of things. Boss Monster's absolutely insane. I really enjoy this deck, and I like how it's played and everything like that. Jiren, what am I going to say about this one? I guess Jimmy called it Old Faithful for him. Of course, such a good deck as well. Very powerful Boss Monster. I feel like Jimmy knows the ins and outs at this point, is okay with whiffing. Still able to make a good situation out of something that I would consider a shitty situation. For some reason, I don't know what it is, but the deck loves him, and I respect it. So the man's committed to it. The man's doing a really good job always with it. So Stubbs here, just figuring out what to charge turn one. I'm assuming he's probably going to keep that for his search, but it looks like we are just going to swing into Jiren, draw one. Now, I'm not too sure what Jimmy's doing with this one. I think we have the Jiren Unison. Obviously, he chops and changes all the time, makes different things going on. Pretty god mill just there. It was really nice. So let's see what he decides to do. He may get a Unison. Obviously, not having Unison turn one, he's not going to be able to go for his Evolve on that turn, right? Difference of status, great card. I'm assuming here the fact that he's got difference of status, he has a Unison on board, and I'm assuming he's probably got the Jiren Unison, right? If you don't have a playset of that card, pick it up, right? It's going to be relevant, I feel like, next set. Pick it up, especially with the GT stuff coming out. You know, you can potentially neg someone Infinity with all the markers you can get on that Unison. So, yes, we do have Jiren Unison in there. I can see it just there. He is going to hit at least one. We're going to hit another Jiren. It's not ideal, obviously, if he doesn't have any other targets. It kind of sucks, but hopefully we've got some other targets in hand to play. If not, we're just cycling our deck. We're going to find something. We've also got little Jiren here to bottom deck, which is exactly what we're going to do. We're going to bottom deck, put him in the deck, go and find ourselves a full drop. And the other good thing about that, of course, is we're recycling our one drop, so it's likely that we're going to get hits again. So the more cards, or more one drops we can put back in, the more likely we're going to get hits on the one drops on the leader's effect, and it doesn't feel so bad. So it looks like we are going to hit a 5 here, hopefully having a 15k in hand. Now the scary thing is we can't really just establish a 15k. You do have to establish something bigger, just because it's so easy for U7 to get any negs, right? I'm assuming we're putting the 1k on the leader. I would say for here, we're going to probably put the 1k on the leader, swing in leader, 19k. Stubbs will take that damage. I don't think he's really too scared about that. I don't think that's a problem at all. He may even choose to combo if he wants more U7s in the drop area as well. That's always a potential. But he may as well do that aggressively if he wants, because he's not really getting too much benefit out of it right now, I guess. So completely up to him. See what he decides to do. May take the damage. Looks like we are going to take the damage just there. So let's see what Jimmy decides to do. I think we're going to the one drop again. Now, I believe we'll have at least 8 in the drop area next turn, so we can potentially clear one of these Jirens off the board just with our Vegeta. So we are going to go for, it looks like we're just going to go the minus on the after image effect, which is completely fine. Get that off the board. It's one less chain we potentially have to worry about. Good thing for Jimmy though here is obviously he can do the bottom deck on that the next turn and be able to get whatever he needs, whatever piece he kind of requires off that. So let's see. So 11k. Passing turn just there. Back to Stubbs. Now, hopefully we get some good mills again off this leader, because I think the last time pretty good, and it's going to get us pretty close. Now, I really like that little combo there as well, being able to just draw more cards, because sometimes it can feel kind of bad, like you don't draw a hell of a lot of cards in this deck sometimes, right? So I definitely think that little combo, having the promo as well as the U7 Gohan and then Vanillas, and then also having the Android 18 is really nice. So looks like we're going to swing in, kill that Jiren. Again, just getting one more chain off the board. Mill, U7, 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 absolute god mills just there. Discard, Koitsukai, and that's not too bad. So I think we're pushing 9, maybe 10 now. And I would dare say that we're getting closer to our unisons as well. So we are going to hit, it looks like the Goku on play, paying 1 minus swing into it. Now, Jimmy has a chance to defend, of course, but the likelihood is he probably won't because it's a 4K to a 19K, right? Which is rather scary for him. We are just going to let it die, it looks like, just here. We've got enough U7s. That's kind of nice. I really like that card. I definitely think how much minus this U7 deck has got is incredible. It's such a fun mechanic being able to minus, and it gives you that control I feel like that the deck needs as well. So we are going back to Jimmy, turn 3 for him. Haven't seen anything too huge just yet. He's thinking about his Jiren Unison, and it's always a tough one, right? I think in the mirror match or any matchup where the opponent could be playing a Jiren Unison, I actually think it's better to get the Jiren Unison out first. Just because what happens if you got your Jiren Unison established, when the opponent plays theirs, you can minus theirs by 10. So they can't just swing in freely with a double strike, all right? Which means that you then have a potential on the crackback to be able to swing in with a double strike and take some markers off them, right? So there's always a potential that you can clear it quicker than they can clear yours. So I'm hoping the Jimmy does decide to play the Jiren Unison here. So that way he's probably got a little bit more control over what Stubbs does next turn, right? As long as he doesn't neg, I guess, a battle card, unless it's important and we tap out or tap down for it, right? We're in a pretty good situation, I think, against the Jiren Unison. So we are just getting this Jiren, being able to draw 1. I would say we're going to the Jiren Unison, but he'll probably go for the Evolve free. Now, the good thing as well about Jimmy's deck here is we don't really care if we lose some 1-drops. You know what I mean? We've got this promo. This promo is nice. It means we get an extra 10k combo for free. I guess technically 5k extra because you are losing 1 card with 5k from hand. But the fact is you can establish these guys and start evolving on top of them, drawing cards, negging, getting power buffs. It's really, really nice. So we're going to go to 15k. Let's see what he decides to do. If he's going to go for up the chain or if he's going to go for his Jiren Unison. As I said, I think the Jiren Unison may be a little bit better here. But I trust in Jimmy's plays. Obviously, he's a good player. Knows what he's doing with the deck. He understands it a lot better than I do. So let's see what he goes for. I reckon, looks like we're going to go straight into the big boy. We're just going to go straight for it. And why not? We're going to put some aggression into this leader, and I respect it. Not Awakened, sadly, so obviously we're not getting our buffs, which kind of sucks. But at the same time, still a very scary play. So he's establishing this. We're going to start swinging in. Again, U7's got a decent amount of minus, so there's ways we can minus it and then try to clear it that way. However, I feel like if Jimmy just restands it and leaves it there, it's kind of comfortable too. And then it's probably not going to die, but we're only going to get 1 swing out of it anyway, so it may not be too worth. So we are going to Violent Raise just here. I think we discarded a card. I'm sorry, I didn't see that if we did discard a card. But again, Raise is really frustrating. So we are going to take the 1. We are going to restand. Now, it's probably just worth leaving it in this position anyway, just to give it a little bit of extra protection. For Stubbs to either overcommit to try to kill it, or he's going to have a defense. And I know he has a defense because I can see the Violent Raise in his hand just there. And I hope some of you guys have got your Collector's Edition Violent Raise as well. Obviously, that's come out. That card looks absolutely incredible. I do still love the old art of Violent Raise. It's such a good card, and I'm glad that they did a reprint as a promo as well. That makes me really happy. I'm glad just to see all these cards that at one point were really, really hard to get have started to become more and more accessible. And I think that's better for the game, especially for players. Obviously not so much collectors, but it's a great thing to see for the players. Obviously, if you don't have those cards and the new people coming in, it's a little bit easier for you to get. And there's budget options as well, which is awesome. So we are going to swing under the Violent Raise, which is really nice just here. We are just going to neg this Jiren just here, taking it down 10. So it is just a 9k. A little bit easier for us to defend out. Now, we're guaranteed that obviously we're awakening next turn. And I dare say that what will happen is Jiren Unison will hit the board. We will then awaken. We'll probably do our mills first as well. And then we get our energy back. And then what we're going to try to do is just, I guess, be able to swing through and put some pressure on. Or what he may decide to do, even knowing that he's got the big Jiren on board, obviously that can kind of clear the Jiren pretty easily. He may just try to build a little bit of board up and put some pressure on that way. Obviously, crit is a very good mechanic in this game. Being at 10, you put a 20k that draws 20k crit. We can potentially clear a little. We can clear a little Jiren, and we can have another little Jiren, another 5-cost Jiren there standing, and then we could potentially kill it with a freezer or something like that as well. You know, that'd be pretty nice for him. Clears 2 threats off the board. Obviously, the big boy's still staying, which is scary, but at the same time, it's not too bad. So it only minuses 15. So obviously, minus the 215, he will still be a 4k, right? Kills a little Jiren, which isn't too bad at all. I would say that we have a freezer in hand at this point. I'm pretty sure we do. Swing in a 20k crit into our leader. Rather frustrating. No energy. And we charge the testing the ops, it looks like. So we've got no protection there, which is rather sad. I'm assuming this damage is probably just going to go through, which is fine as well. It's not the end of the world. Now, what we'll probably do here, leader effect, Koitsukai. So there's 2 Koitsukai in the drop area, which is beautiful. Unfortunately, losing our Piccolo, which sucks, but it is what it is. It does happen sometimes. Of course, we know that. He's going to discard Jiren. So he's not prioritizing Jiren Unison here, which is fair enough. I can respect that. I don't think it's really too needed. We're going to swing on the front, drawing a card, getting the max value out of this Awaken here, I feel like, which is great. We are then going to Awaken 1/1, which is perfect. And then we can also get our draw on this side too. So we're really getting this as much as possible. So he does have a Realm of the Gods extra card in hand, I can see, which I would say that's a pretty good idea right now, you know. Kill the big Jiren, get that off the board just as soon as possible. And then maybe he goes for the minus. He may not want to overextend because he's got Violent Rays in hand, but I think he's just going to go for the Realm of the Gods. He's going to go the KO here, kill the big boy. Okay, interesting. So we're just going to kill the big boy. Obviously, he's not too fussed by this then. So he's going to kill the 5 cost. Obviously, Jimmy doesn't have anything he only had 1 card underneath, which kind of sucks, right? But he could have taken a life if he wanted to. I don't think he's choosing to. I can't remember if it minuses or it kills off the top of my head. If it minuses, obviously completely dead. Maybe that's what it is. I think it may minus maybe 30k, and that's why it doesn't just kill the card that's actually higher than. I think it just minuses the 30k on something greater than, and that's probably why I chose that, because it wouldn't have killed that Jiren this year, which is fair enough. And then we leave 1 energy up for Violent Raise, so he's only going to get 1 swing with it. We raise it, and then we protect. So we are just going to mill 1. I didn't count there when he counted, and I apologize. I'm assuming that's probably the 20, and that's what he's probably going to do is grab something back. He's going to grab a super combo, because why not? What a great way to use the leader, obviously grabbing a super combo. The other great card or amazing card to grab is, of course, the 8-cost Goku, because that card is just absolutely phenomenal. Being able to grab that back, drop that card down is crazy. So I would assume here, and I'm hoping Jimmy remembers there was a raise that was used last turn, right? Because you do have to try to get your max value out of the Violent Raise, right? So what he needs to do here is he needs to swing with the big boy first, knowing that Violent Raise is a possibility here this turn. So let's see what he decides to do. I would say, and I hope, swing leader first, get the Violent Raise out of the way, and then what we do is we just want to establish all the little boys, or the 5 costs, and start dual attacking, because it's a 19k underneath as well. So I would assume here we Violent Raise. Let's see what he goes for. Maybe he doesn't want to keep that standing. That's a possibility as well, because he does have the Realm of the Gods extra card in hand. Maybe he wants to be greedy, keep it rested, but I feel like Violent Raise is just the safer choice. So we are going to go the Raise, which I definitely think is the better choice here. Going to discard a Vanilla. We haven't got the U7 Gohan on the board, so it's an easy discard. It's something we don't really care about, I guess. So it'd be interesting to see if Jimmy does decide to go for underneath. He may not, but it looks like we're going to hit something. So we're going to hit a Unison. So he's going to establish his first, which I like as well, right? I do really, really like the Unison choice. Such a strong card, obviously being able to plus get double strike, and then just be able to minus anything 10k. And the scary thing here as well is this now threatens U7's boss monster as well, right? Because you can get your minus 10k on play plus being able to use the -3, which is rather scary. And it's going to go up to 4 markers. And Stubbs not having his own unison set up just here means that he doesn't really have a hell of a lot of aggression to kind of back up and try to clear it. Now, good thing for Jimmy, though, is he gets a 20k double striker. So he can put some pressure onto Jason right now, which is rather nice for him. Obviously, that's what he wants to do. Scary thing, though, is he's only got 2 energy left, and I think he's going to need some of that 4 defense going into this next turn, right? Good thing for Jason, though, he didn't charge his test in the oppositions. He's got 1 in hand, so he is going to be able to negate this attack that goes into the leader so he can protect himself, establish a blocker as well. So he's got a little bit of extra protection there too. But we do have Jiren, of course. Jiren's going to be able to minus the 10k as long as Jimmy remembers, okay? To make sure that it clears off the board so he can get his next swing through. So looks like I would dare say that we go for the Jiren swing first, just because we are at 5 and it's kind of that awkward number. But obviously we got sparking. We are going to establish a blocker. We minus our 10, which is perfect. Jimmy remembered, which is really, really nice. And then we've got a leader swing. We can draw a card. Unfortunately, no evolves, though, this turn. So we're not going to be able to buff up our leader or anything right now, which is kind of sad, but that's okay. Looks like we're going to swing in. We're not going to use the Jiren's effect first, so we're just going to swing in. I would say we probably just leave it at 20k at this point. 15k, sorry. There's no buffs on it just yet. So 15k just to force some cards from hand. Unless what he wants to do is maybe match. The scary thing is, I guess, over comboing here or comboing too hard to me is kind of scary. Just because he's going to have to defend quite a bit, right? But he has got a super combo. Obviously, he wants to filter or cycle a little bit to see if he can find some pieces maybe. I believe we've still got Raditz in hand, which is quite nice. So, just waiting on to see what else, if he's going to combo more or not. I feel like that's an awkward enough number. So I think we probably leave it there. Stubbs may decide to take it, be even with Jimmy, go down to 3, but I would say that he'll combo out. A little bit of protection. I think he's got some super combos in hand. Looks like we're just going to take, which is fine. Didn't want to use too many resources, which I understand. So we do have a double striker in hand for the next turn, which is quite nice. Again, potential to be negged by Jiren. I think all we got to do is make sure we swing our crit first, of course. He may even swing Jiren twice if he can. So swing Jiren with the 20k Vegeta there, swing Jiren with the leader, take it to 20k. And then from there, establish the, I guess the game ender, I will call it. But the big boss monster of this deck, maybe establish that because it's a little bit more protected. There's no -3 left on it. And then try to clear the board. Well, not clear the board, so finish the game that way because that is rather scary. So we're going to pass turn over to Stubbs. He is going to draw. I'm assuming we're just going to charge that Android 18 we've got in hand. We don't really have, I don't think we really have too many vanillas left in our hand. So I think, yeah, we'll just charge that Android 18, which is pretty much all the energy, just Android 18s at the moment. Again, it is a great card. So we swing that, I'm assuming, into Jiren Unison. Jimmy's got a decent grip on him right now. He's got a decent amount of cards, which is rather nice. Looks like we are going to minus 30k. I believe it's minus 30k and we plus 10 to our Vegeta. So maybe this is going into the Jiren, potentially, right? There is that option. Trying to clear that off the board because that is a hell of a threat. And if we can get that off the board, it's quite nice. So old Chuck is there from Stubbs. So we are going to super combo, looks like. This could even possibly be going into leader. You know what I mean? I'm not 100%. Unfortunately, he didn't point too much. So we are going to bottom deck and draw 2. Taking it to 25 to our 30. So 30 crit. If that's what we're doing, if we're comboing on leader, which I'm assuming we are. Trying to get some damage through. Again, crit is such an annoying keyword, such a great keyword when you're using it. Just being able to deny the opponent some resources is really, really strong. And of course, sometimes people overcommit to it as well. So it looks like we are going to hit a Goku just here off the plate, which is interesting. And I think we're going to buff our leader by the 5k. So we're going to be at 20k, which is quite nice for Jimmy, obviously being able to establish that. But scary thing now is he is tapped out. So it depends on what he has left in his hands, okay? I think what we're going to do, though, is we're probably going to hit this freezer just here, just to clear this Jiren off the board. Obviously, this Jiren is rather scary. It's a big threat this next turn. If that stays on the board, I feel like he's going to be in a very good position, because I don't think we have another raise in our hand for the next turn, which is rather scary. If we did have raise, I feel like we'd be in a pretty good position. So it looks like we are just going to let that guy go, and that's completely understandable. Now, next option is, right, whether we play the 17 or not. I don't think we need to. I think maybe we're okay at this point. And the annoying thing is obviously Jiren makes all plays feel kind of bad in a way, unless you can bait them out. Now, he may decide to bait them out. He could even go for the U7 Gohan that he has in hand. I know he has at least one little one drop there, and that doesn't hurt to establish, right? Because if he does have some vanillas, it's not too bad. So he is going to try to bait it out. We're going to do this, and we're going to go top 7. And we have found a vanilla in there. We found actually quite a few good cards. He may go for the counterplay just here. I have a feeling like that would be a good option just to establish, so then he can kind of protect himself a little bit going into this next turn. Otherwise, he can grab himself a vanilla, okay? So that is always that option too. And again, he does have to make the decision, I guess, before Jimmy decides to minus as well. But it looks like we are going to counterplay, which I think is the safer option here. Jimmy's not buying the bait, it looks like. I think we're just going to leave that on the board, which is also fine for Stubbs here. He doesn't mind that, leaving that on the board. Decent grip in hand too, and we've also got some protection. Now, passing back over Jimmy's turn, I feel like it almost has turned a little bit in Jimmy's favor here. Having a Jiren and then having this dual attack 20, it'll be 25k on this turn, because he doesn't get the 5k buff from the play that's only on the play, so which he gave to the leader, but he'll have 25k. I don't think he runs any vanillas, but if he needs a shuffle, it's always a good option to go searching through your deck. Just have a look what's left in there as well, because then that can change what your plays are too. So it never hurts to have a look through your deck if you get an option to do that, right? Even if you know there's no vanilla or there's nothing else in there, have a look through, figure out what's there, and then you go, all right, cool, here's my plays going into this turn. So he is going to search, which I definitely think is a good idea. I like that. Obviously, having a shuffle, finding what's in there, finding what your plays are, finding potentially even what's in your life left may make taking your life a little bit easier too if you need to. If you know there's a negate or there's a super combo or there's something else in there, if you can keep track of your cards well enough, you can find out what's actually in that life, which is great too. So we are going to swing in, buff it. So it'll be 25k to 25k, I believe. Sneaky little, I believe that's a one-of just there of that negate that also activates from drop. Really good against this U7 Goku, right? I really like that. So if you are able to negate the first attack and then they rip your second negate out, you've potentially got that card in the drop area for you if you mill it, which is really, really nice. And then that just means you got your extra protection, and I like that a lot. So we are going to swing in once again, I'm assuming, into leader. I think he's trying to go for game or just like put this pressure through, right? I think we need to keep the negate for the double striker though. So we're going to go 25k. I don't think we have an efficient way to actually get out of 25k. I think we've only got 5ks in hand, sadly. No Realm of the God extra cards from the look of it, which kind of sucks as well. But we do have a Goku going to the next turn if needed. Only thing is Jiren's got quite a lot of markers still left on him, right? So there is that potential that we've got that protection there. So let's see what he decides to go for. He's going to combo the 3, taking it to 30k. Obviously realizing how easy it is to establish double strikers in this deck. Plus there's always the potential he's got the sneaky double strike on the leader as well. So Jimmy thinking about plays, it looks like we're going to discard, grab 2 little ones, which is quite nice once again. As I said, this is huge for this deck as well. Being able to get extra combo plus having your evolve targets, I feel like is huge. It's really, really nice. It was great back when we played green-yellow as well in Jiren, but it's definitely stronger now than what it used to be, I think. So we're going to go over the top, paying 1. So buffing the leader, 5k, because we've done an evolve. And then we get to choose where we want to put this 1k as well. And it's a 1k we can put on our leader. So make it a 21k, which is rather annoying. So let's see what he decides to go for just here. Obviously, Stubbs has a chance to counterplay as well. But I think what's going to happen here is Jimmy's probably going to establish the big boy, which is rather scary for Stubbs. So I don't think he wants to counterplay it now, because then he has an option to go on the other guy instead, right? So I think what he needs to do is he needs to wait for that, and it makes it a little bit easier to combo out for him. But again, that leader is going to get buffed quite a bit. Probably having a look, see if he's got any more super combos or anything else left in there. Any other negates that we didn't realize. Unfortunately, I don't think we've got anything really. So he's going to go figuring out if he wants to counterplay. I don't think it's worth on this. I think it's better to wait for the big one and counterplay the big one instead. Unfortunately, again, we don't have Jiren on our own Jiren unison on the board, and we haven't got any Videls or anything like that in the hand either, because again, that would be a very, very strong card just to be able to counter with. So this is a tough decision, I feel like, just here. What you want to go for. Let's see what he decides to do. I think it's going to be a no. I think what we'll do is we wait for the big boy to drop, waste the energy, and then hit it. But let's see what he goes for. Looks like we are going to go for our counterplay here, and we're just going to kill the little 1-drop. Okay. So we're going to kill our little 1-drop. Obviously, having the buff there, get leader, and then we can minus it by 10k as well on the play, which is quite nice. Dual attack 19k, rather scary, right? Plus what we can do is we can put the big boy on top of it. So let's see. We've got quite a bit of energy left to play with. So we've got 4 energy. So very easy to be able to do this. Jimmy figuring out whether he wants to swing or he wants to go up the chain. Now, I think a swing is okay, right? A single swing, but then there's that potential that he gets hit by like after image or something like that. Again, it's just 1 less card and 1 less energy you have to worry about. If he does use the energy, it means that we don't have access to anything else. And if he does take the life, you're in double strike range. And if we do have a double strike Kai or Champa in hand, there's a potential that we could take it off the leader, or we could even take it off the Jiren unison just here. Or we go into our big boy, if possible, still, and we can do that. Now, we're going to establish the pan just here. 40k, huge swing. Not easy to combo out, I can tell you that. So it's unfortunate, but I think Stubbs has to just take a damage just here. I think he just has to take the 40k. It's kind of pushed him into the corner a little bit. What we're going to have to do is probably negate whatever double strike comes down, but I dare say that Jimmy will be able to get at least 2 of them established, right? Here we go. We've got a dual attack double striker. Rather scary. 2 energy. Massive swing in. Negate, right? Plus 5k, so it is a bean on the leader, which is rather nice. But we don't have a hell of a lot of cards left in hand. We've got 4. I think we've seen all our vanillas. Gohan's gone, so we're not going to draw any cards off comboing vanillas either, which is rather annoying. So let's see what happens. So I think we're going to take 1. We're going to buff the leader, restand. We're going to swing again. I don't think we have the after image. Yep. So three of the new boss monster and 1 10k. And then, the 2 last cards were our negates that we needed. So obviously, I think we put Rays in there in the pre-side, right? That's such a good card. Having more is always really, really nice. So I think either they went in or more went in, which was really nice against this deck. And definitely having that extra card too is really, really strong. So there we go. Jimmy taking that one with Jiren. As I said, the old faithful absolutely loves the deck. Stays true to it, and it always seems to turn out well for Jimmy. He definitely had a really, really good game there. Unfortunately, we didn't see anything too hectic from U7, but again, it's nice to see U7 lose some games because I feel like it is such a good deck. It is absolutely incredible. I feel like it's really, really, really good to play, really fun, but it's tough to play against if you don't know what's going to happen. So, hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please remember to subscribe, hit that bell to stay notified, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.